नमः सर्वेभ्यः अपराह्नस्य कक्षायां स्वागतम्। तृतीयपाठस्य अन्तिम उपभागः सप्तमस्य पठनं करणीयमस्ति अस्माभिः। अस्मिन् उपभागे संस्कृतग्रन्थकाराणां परिचयः क्रियते। अद्यतनग्रन्थकाराः ज्योतिषशास्त्रज्ञाः एते न केवलं ज्योतिषशास्त्रज्ञाः अपि च गणितशास्त्रज्ञाः। अस्माकं पूर्वजैः द्वाभ्यामपि पाण्डित्यं समानकाले प्राप्तव्यमासीत्। न केवलम् एवमेव किमपि ऊहापोहा कृत्वा लेखनीयं नासीत्। तस्मिन् काले क्रमशः गणित ज्ञानाभ्यासेन एव सर्वं क्रियते स्म। They were not just astrologers, they were actually astronomers. So that is the huge difference in our paddhati. Aryabhatah iti प्रप्रथमतया तस्य परिचयः दीयते अत्र। ज्योतिः इत्युक्ते खे विद्यमानानां दीप्तपदार्थानां सूचना। यथा सूर्यः चन्द्रः तु स्तः एव, तदतिरिच्य नक्षत्राणां गणना, स्थानव्यवस्था एतत् सर्वमपि ज्योतिष्ये भवति एव। ज्योतिषशास्त्रस्य शास्त्रीयत्वं परिकल्पितम् आर्यभटेन एव। यावत्पर्यन्तम् अस्माभिः एतावत्पर्यन्तं ज्ञायते एतस्य कार्यः आदिमः इति दृश्यते। ज्योतिषशास्त्रस्य शास्त्रीयत्वं परिकल्पितम् आर्यभटेन एव, परन्तु प्रायः एतस्य पूर्वजैः अपि कृतं स्यात्। अस्माभिः किमपि तत्र उपलब्धिः नास्ति इति एवम्। आर्यभटम् आर्यभट्टः इत्यपि निर्दिशन्ति केचन। अर्थात् भटः भट्टः द्वित्वेन अपि टकारस्य स्वीकारः तत्र अस्ति। आर्यभट्टः अपि सुष्ठु, आर्यभटः अपि सुष्ठु, रूपद्वयम् इति वक्तुं शक्नुमः तस्य नाम्नि। आर्यभटस्य जन्म क्रिस्तशक 370 वर्षे, अर्थात् 473 5th century तमे वर्षे पाटलीपुत्रनगरे, पाटना इति यदि इदानीमस्ति, पाटलीपुत्रनगरे जातम् इति। अपि च क्रिस्तशक 1950 वर्षे एषः आर्यभटीयम् इति ग्रन्थं लिखितवान् इति ज्ञायते। प्रायः यदा बहु युवानः एव आसन्। एषः स्वस्य 23तमे वयसि एव एतं सिद्धान्तप्रतिपादकं श्रेष्ठं ग्रन्थं रचितवान् आसीत्। गुरुकुलपद्धत्यां यदा तृतीये, चतुर्थे, पञ्चमे वयसि एव एतस्य प्रवेशः भवति गुरुकुलाभ्यासे, एवं कर्तुं शक्नुवन्ति। तत्र एकाग्रतया बहु किमपि पठ्यते तैः। एवं सिद्धान्तप्रतिपादकं श्रेष्ठं ग्रन्थं रचितवान् आसीत्। एतस्मात् एव वयम् ऊहितुं शक्नुमः यत् एतस्य प्रतिभा कीदृशी आसीत् इति। वेरी ब्रैट् फेला। आर्यभटीयग्रन्थे महासङ्ख्याः अपि संज्ञारूपेण कथं सङ्ग्रहेण लेखनीयः इति विषयः। हौ टु पुट् small simple signs for huge numbers and use them smartly. That's also laid base in his works. Okay, so he goes to huge numbers with short names, so because he needs such sanyas for his work. Very nice. Varga ghanamoola tribhujadi ganita vishayaha. Okay, so square root, cube root and triangles, all these geometrical and quadratic and such equations and all that are already clearly there in his act of doing calculations. Vargamula Ghanamula Tribhujadi Ganita Vishayaha Katapayadi Sangnyakramaha. This one is a brilliant technique using aksharas only to represent place value system. So that technology, with that what they could do, they could indicate large numbers with place value system, but actually code them into legible words, okay, basically meaningful words also. So kavitva was deployed that way, okay. So like for example, kakara stands for a particular digit, kakara for another digit, so on and so forth. There is a table, I don't want to go into too much detail, but it is something like that. Kala vibhaga nakshatra gati bhagana dinaratriyadi vishayaha. Kala vibhaga, breaking of time through the day and things like that. Nakshatra gati, movement of stars, basically collection of stars in the sky. Bhagana, okay, and this one is somewhat like a constellation sense. Dinaratriyadi vishayaha, so day and night, breaking down, kala vibhaga first to day and night and then analyzing. Chapi vivrutaha santi, so very detailed exposition of all these aspects are there in his works. Maya nutanataya kimapi na uchyate पूर्वजैः उक्तमेव स्फुटतया निरूप्यते इति स्वग्रन्थे उक्तवान् अस्ति एषः. So again he gives tribute rather. He gives tribute to his past masters. So I am not doing anything extremely novel here. I am sure he is being modest also. But what it tells us that there was a lineage. So that's not to be taken. His era is not to be taken as the start or anything. It's a point, important point in the evolution of Jyotish Shastra. Panchanga kartaraha bahavaha etasya siddhantam eva anusaranti. So the calculations put down by him are still followed by Panchanga writers. Sadly, actually they used to use lot of observational correction in those times. Lot of those calculations that they put down were based on centuries of observations through lineage of Jyotisha Shastragnyas. But since that parampara has a little bit broken down, whatever last fixed calculation that is available to us are being used. So sadly the observational astronomy has completely disappeared. Observational astronomy with which they used to correct their calendars, that has disappeared. Okay. Now of course we now reuse the global almanac to realign, but we ourselves are not doing fundamental observation, frankly. Maybe there are certain departments, but you know our government departments, what they do, leave it. Varahamihira. So any further English explanation needed for Aryabhata? Anybody? Okay, I think people understood. Okay. Varahamihira. So this person is very interesting. He came, his books have come at a time when there was lot of collaboration clearly between Indian astronomers, astronomy related pandits and the Yavanas, are basically the Greek astronomers. So lot of synergy is there between Greek astronomy and Indian astronomy, because actually there was lot of trade and collaboration. Before the onset of attack type of mode, there was actually lot of collaborative Pandita level interaction between the Greek philosophers, Greek astronomers and Indian philosophers and Indian astronomers. Okay, it's very clear from his authorship. Okay, in fact he directly refers to Yavanacharyas. Okay, Varaha, and many of the names he uses have a common trait with the Greek names. Varahamihira. Khagolam Jyotisham Ganitam Cheti Jyotish Shastrasya Trayaha Vibhagaha. So the Jyotish Shastra has three divisions. One is Khagola, basically about the sky, or what you call the sphere of the sky. Okay, and then Jyotisham, basically the presence of particular stars in the various places, I guess, and then Ganitam, the calculative aspect. Okay, so in Jyotisham is what lot of sometimes, you know, prapti, siddhi, if you do this that way, your kundali, all those things comes into picture. Khagola and Ganita are extremely the scientific aids for the Jyotisha. Okay, cheti Jyotish shastrasya trayah vibhagaha Khagolam grahachalanaadikam jnapayati. See, Khagola is about movement of planetary items. Manava jivane grahadinam prabhavam nirupayati Jyotisham. So the Jyotisha is more about deriving from Khagola Shastra's determinations and then predicting for a particular people, what, or a nation or something, what portends those movements, what do they portend, appearance of a comet, etc., what do they portend. Okay. Etesham phalam nirnayati ganitam. The calculations lead to the determination of the fruits. Of course, the calculation includes the process for calculation also. So that's where the scientific aspect of Ganita comes into picture, not just the mere application of the formula. Varahamihiraha etan treen bagan api adhikritya grantham vilikhya phalajyotisha shastrasya आद्य प्रवर्तकः इति ख्यातः अस्ति. फलज्योतिषम् इत्युक्ते that's the place where they predict the fruits of events, occurrences, etc. So phala is about the siddhi, or what portends due to the various star positions in relation to your own birth star position, etc., kundali, etc. Okay, adya pravartaka means one who has the primary proponent of phalajyotisha. Okay, iti khyataha asti. Yeshah kristashaka shashte shatake. Okay, so 6th century, so 500 through 600 AD. Okay, asit iti pariganyate. Vikramaadityasya asthane sthiteshu navasu ratneshu anyatamaha asit yeshah. Vikramaditya's court had Navaratnas, is clear to us from some writings. So it is said that Varahamihira was one of the 9 Ratnas in Vikramaditya's court. So Vikramaditya clearly, extremely lot of culturally progressive and scientifically progressive works occurred in this era of Vikramaditya, and supposed to be 7th century. Yeah. Sorry, 6th century, 500 through 600. So Vikramaadityasya asthane stiteshu navasu ratneshu, navaratnaha navasu ratneshu, anyatamaha asit eshaha. He was one of the great ones out of the 9, or one of many, like that. Tama is there, so superiorities. Ityapi pratipadayanti kechana. Some say this. Eshaha avanti nivasi asit iti Adityadasah etasya pita asit iti cha jnayate. There is some proof that he was in Avantipura, and Adityadasa was his father's name. Okay, some evidence is there, I am sure, we don't know. Pancha Siddhantika Lagu Samhita Varahi Samhita Brihajjatakam. This is most famous, Brihajjatakam. Ityete grantaha etena rachitaha santi. So Pancha Siddhantika, 5 one which contains details of the 5 siddhi, something like that. Lagu Samhita, some summarization of some Jyotish Shastra. Varahi Samhita, a variant where he uses his own name for it. Varahi, of the Varahamihira, Varahi Samhita. And Brihad Jatakam. So Jatakam, you know, the term used in Jyotisha. Brihat means big. So some Jyotisha Grantha with a name based on Jataka. So okay, Jataka is the birth kundali, basically the planetary position at the time of birth. Okay, planetary and other positions. Ityete grantaha etena rachitaha santi. Tatra Brihad Jatakam. Okay, so there is a double sandhi there. Jashtva to Dakara, and Dakara switching ranks to Jakara. Okay, Shtutva. sorry, not Shtutva, Shchutva, because Chavarga Jakara. So Jastva, Shchutva has happened. Okay, Tatra Brihajjatakam Suprasiddham, it's most famous. Brihajjatake Chatussahasra Shlokaha Ekashata Adhyayaha Cha Santi. Can you believe the size of the work? 4,000 shlokas, no joke, and 100 chapters, very well classified with so many subjects to deal with. Okay, Jyotishikalakshanam, I mean the lakshana of Jyotish, of the of Jyotisha, something like that. Nakshatra Vyuhaha, constellation details. Vrishtihi, rain. Vastuvidya, the art of determining architectural aspects of construction of things, abodes. Ashwalakshanam, wow, the characteristics of good horses. Vajra Pariksha, the technique of testing diamonds. Pakadhyayaha, techniques for cooking, or maybe items that are suitable for cooking. Not what did he leave? Ityadayah bahavaha vishayaha nirupitaha santi atra. So don't consider Brihajjataka as only some Jyotisha related. There is actually lots of practical other details. But if you see, no, later on you will notice that there is a relationship of there is a concept of birthstone and suitable stones, precious stones and things like that. So that is also there. Though I don't know where Ashwalakshana Pakadhyaya relates to Jyotisha, but in his Grantha everything is there. Maybe it was his magnum opus. Ataha Eshaha Granthaha Laghu Vishwakoshaha Ityeva Pariganyate. So something to remember. So Brihajjatakam Laghu Vishwakoshaha Ityeva Pariganyate. It's not narrowed on one subject, it's quite broad. I have also noticed that even otherwise many of them which are on particular subject, they always use the opportunity to give subhashitams everywhere which suit the occasion. So they are also compendium of subhashitams in more or less you will see that trait in all Sahitya, including Kalidasa. Okay, Purva Kritinam Adharena Grantham Rachitavan Eshaha Tatra Tatra Adhara Granthan Api Ullikati. So because he has created using earlier works, he has actually given bibliographical references to what he is based on, not in the sense of today's bibliography with a number and a footnote and all that. They will directly include it in the verses. Jataka Swarupa Jnapake Greek Hora Shastra Vibhage Greek Paddatehe Vivaranam. They have used Greek here so that it's clear to us. Actually they used to call it as Yavana Desha. Okay, Greek Paddatehe Vivaranam Greek Paribhashika Shabdanam Prayogaha cha Visheshatah Drishyate Atra. So it's very clear from his works that lot of collaborative explanation. Basically he has enhanced the Jyotish Shastra Granthas in India, including the astronomical and astrological works of the Greeks. Okay. There is a they used to use an instrument for navigation. I'm trying to remember the particular name. There is a circular brass instruments they used to make for aligning the stars in the night. And
Compass,
from
Sextant, sir. Sextant.
Not sextant. Sextant is too basic.
Compass, sir.
Not compass, not sextant, not compass. Astrolabe. Okay. So this astrolabe was a common technology in the between the seafarers. There is an astrolabe. My friend visited a museum in Switzerland, Lausanne somewhere. A seafaring museum, something like that. I don't know how Switzerland has that museum. It's a landlocked country. Anyway, they stole from everywhere, so they have it. So there he saw an astrolabe which was marked in Sanskrit and Morak languages. Morak Arabic and Sanskrit languages simultaneously, dual language astrolabe, quite old. And So you can see the collaboration existed in navigation and aspects like that. Indian races were great seafarers, so they had evolved the technique of knowing their latitude, longitude, etc. Whatever they called it is different, and with observing the stars and tracking themselves where they are with respect to where they started, etc. Okay, very masters of that. Of course, they used to keep the daily calendar also, so that they could correct for that, and it's amazing. Anyway, so navigation is another science that depend on Jyotish Shastra in those days. Jataka Swarupa Jnapake, Greek Hora Shastra. Hora Shastra, Hora. The word Hora is basically the hour word, hour in English, which is a European derivative from probably Greek Latin origin. So that is borrowed into as Hora in Samskritam. Hora. Okay. So ahoratram, sometimes they say ahaha, ahoratram, like that, but hora is derived from ahoratram. But the more strong belief is that hora word came from the hour or equivalent Greek word. Okay. Anyway, Greek paddatehe vivaranam, Greek paribhashika shabdanam prayogah cha visheshatah drishyate atra. Okay. As part of my master's work, I had to go through one of the adhyayas of I think Brihad Jatakam, if I remember right, and it is unbelievable the kind of compressed data that is put into his verses. Each of his verse actually I had to explode into lots of XLS tables and explain. And to the extent that I understood, it was an assignment and I had to do that. For me it was revealing actually, and I had to submit it as a video assignment to my Guru Varyas to show that I understood and I have analyzed and explained it and all that. So those videos are actually available on my YouTube channel. Anyway, I had to share it publicly so that they could access it, and it's there available for everyone. So it's an interesting two-part analysis of a small portion of Varahamihira's work, which I learnt that there is too much to learn from these guys. That much I learnt. It's unbelievable. Brahmagupta, Bhaskaracharya. So what we saw so far, Aryabhata in the 6th century. Okay, Varahamihira in the again 6th century, more or less a little bit one behind the other type of thing. Okay, all right. Brahmagupta Bhaskaracharyena Ganaka Chakra Chudamanihi. So actually one may wonder, one fellow will be in one corner of India, another fellow will be in another corner, etc. How is that this fellow had some basis of what that fellow had done? Because actually whatever may have been the kingdom boundaries in ancient India, it's not as if the kingdoms were not present, not as if there was a single Chakravarti all the time, but there were a lot of collaborative work between different kingdoms. Okay, so the Pandits had mutual access clearly. So that is also because each king, the works of the court artists and court Pandits, etc., in various Sahitya, Jyotisha, etc., they used to use scribes to make multiple copies of those masterworks, and then there would be inter-nation exchanges, conferences, let's call them, where these Pandits would actually, each king would also proudly, say this is my, so they would show the Panditya developed in their kingdom to the neighbors and exchange, and they would in turn do that. So the Pandits had probably copies of the other author's work, and there was no kind of copyright business. This guy would be very happy to quote, I have studied that and my work is now based on what that has been done. Either he will argue against it or you grow further from where he has left off. This Paddhati was brilliant. So almost all the kingdoms in their court had a library of such authored books, of course handwritten scriptures, So that's how the Pandits had access to a larger volume of works. Okay, that much is clear to us by looking at the lineage of works that has happened at dispersed far apart places. And of course they used to travel on horseback, etc. It was not as if instead of within 1 or 2 days, it used to take a few weeks to go from one place to another place. Okay. Brahmagupta Bhaskaracharyeण गणकचक्रचूडामणिः इति श्लाघितः ब्रह्मगुप्तः ज्योतिषशास्त्रे प्रसिद्धः पंडितः. See, Bhaskaracharyeण श्लाघितः. So this guy goes behind, ahead of before Bhaskaracharya. Ganachakra Chudamanihi, beautiful name given to him. Slagitah Brahmaguptah Jyotish Shastre Prasiddha Panditah Brahma Sputa Siddhantah Khandakadyakam. I don't know, Khadyakam comes from Khadya word, but Khandaka Adyakam, something like that must be. Cannot be Khadya word. Anyway, Khandakhadyakam cheti grantadvayam rachitavan asti eshaha. Okay, few things to remember for you. Brahmagupta, Ganaka Chakra Chudamani, and 2 works, Brahma Sputa Siddhantaha Khandakhadyakam iti grantadvayam. Brahma Sputa Siddhante दृश्यमानात् उल्लेखात् ज्ञायते यत् एषः क्रिस्तशक 98 द्व्योन पंचशतमे वर्षे, I mean 498. Okay, अष्टनवत्यधिक पंचशततमे वर्षे, we have to say. Okay, जन्म प्राप्तवान् इति. विष्णुगुप्तः इति एतस्य पितुः नाम इति. आश्रयदाता राजा व्याघ्रनामकः इति. 30तमे वयसि तेन स च ग्रन्थः रचितः इति. Wow. See, these guys are at least Jyotish Shastra guys, so they look like they were putting down the calendar details quite fine. So we could precisely tell. He would probably put it in some Vikrama Shaka, Shalivahana Shaka like that, and it can be corrected back to Krista Shaka also by us. Brahmasputa Siddhante Grahaganitam Pati Ganitam. See, not Mahaprana Thakara, so slightly different. Pati Ganitam Kshetra Ganitam Ityadeha Vibhagaha Santi. Okay, Kshetra Ganitam is 2D area related. Graha Ganitam is related to planetary. I am not too sure of Pati Ganitam. You will have to look up what exactly the mathematics of Pati Ganitam is.
Sir, in Bengali it means just plain arithmetic. There is a very famous book in Bengali called Patiganit, which is just pure arithmetic. Just arithmetic.
Summing, subtraction,
LCM, and all that. Yes,
very good, very good. Thanks, Varya. So fundamental arithmetic, and then arithmetic related to areas and things like that, geometry related. Very good. Vibhagaha Santi. See, guys sitting now, just imagine, we are talking of 5th century, 6th century. What kind of advancement? Have we only retrograded since then is the question I have. Okay. All right. Then Bhaskaracharya. I'll come to this panel after we read about Bhaskaracharya. Okay. I don't know what is that here. I've forgotten whose work is that. Must be also Bhaskaracharya. Okay. We will come to both of this after reading this textbook portion. Bhaskaracharya. Bhaskaracharyasya namnah shravanadeva Lilavati iti grantam smaranti janaha sarve. Sarve Lilavati iti grantam smaranti sarve. Kintu Lilavati iti swatantrah grantah na Siddhanta Shiromanihi ityetasya grantasya kaschana bhagah saha. Oh, एवं मयापि विस्मृतमस्ति विषयः एषः विस्मृतः अस्ति. सिद्धान्तशिरोमणिः इत्येतस्य ग्रन्थस्य भागः लीलावती इति. Oh, it's like the exercise portion of Siddhanta Shiromani, I think. It's full of exercises. Bhaskaracharyasya लीलावती नामिका विधवा पुत्री आसीत्. तस्याः खेदस्य निवारणार्थं yat ganitam bodhitam tat Lilavati iti namna eva khyatam abhavat iti katha shruyate. This story is a little bit more exotic. There were portions of Mughal rulership which did some good knowledgeable stuff at that some time. So in one such effort where they took this Siddhanta Shiromani and translated it to Persian, the person who worked alongside Pandits, I am sure, to do that translation, he has actually from the folklore that existed at that time extracted a lot of story of how it came to be Lilavati. And so that's where the record is found of such folklore. Okay. And when Bhaskaracharya's daughter was born, I am doing sidetracking, but it's good. Okay, all these are good stories to learn for all of us. How accurate and all, we will leave it a lot of margin. But Bhaskaracharya, when his daughter was born, he took the Kundali and found that there was a certain weakness and she wouldn't have a very strong marriage if certain preconditions were not taken care of for the marriage. So he designed a water clock. So they had water clocks then, where actually a small cup with a small hole will be placed in a tub of water, and when the cup fills to a certain level, the cup will sink. And when the sinking happens, that much time has passed, a particular time has been reached, let's say a couple of hours later, something like that. So he had told his daughter on the day of the marriage that this cup I have kept here on the day of the marriage, or I don't know whether that cup was calibrated for multiple days, I have no idea. It's possible anything. So he told her, saying that when this goes down, you please immediately at that time get married. Okay, maybe he was busy elsewhere because he was a court pandit or whatever. So, but what happened? When out of curiosity, and he had told her, don't go near it until you hear it fall or something like that. But out of curiosity, this young girl, she went and bent over to look at it, and one of the, without her knowledge, it is said that one of the beads of her dress or something fell into the cup and it closed the hole. So sadly, the cup wouldn't go down at the right time, so she missed the kala. So she ended up getting married at the wrong time, and Bhaskaracharya of course came to know, because he found that that exact time has not been met, because he knew what that time was, I am sure. So he was very sad. But what really happened was, as his Kundali had predicted, she became a vidhava very early, because her husband passed away due to the wrong choice of marriage time or whatever. So he was caring for her, and then he was very sad about her status. So he took up educating her in mathematics, okay, which was his knowledge. And as part of that, he created this Lilavati section as an exercise for her to solve. So if you see the verses, actually, he bale Uchyatam kimiti, like this, all these things comes there. Okay, so it's very nice actually. I like the whole such folklore behind a creation, because it gives us a little more human look into the society then and how things were cared for, etc. So Bhaskaracharya se Lilavati namika vidhava putri asit tasyaha khedasya nivaranartam yat ganitam bodhitam tat Lilavati iti namna khyatam abhavat iti katha shruyate. Lilavati bhagaha पाटी गणितम अंक गणितम यथा वर्येण सूचितमत्र अंक गणितम इति अर्थमेटिक निरूपयति संकलन व्यवकलनादि एडिशन सब्ट्रैक्शन गणितस्य सर्वाणि अंगानि च प्रतिपादयति लीलावती भागः. भास्कराचार्यस्य अपरः ग्रन्थः करणकुतूहलम् इति. अत्र पंचांग निर्माणार्थम आवश्यकाः विषयाः निरूपिताः सन्ति. So this is a handbook type of name is there. See, Karana is of course instrument. Anyway, something of interest for the sensory perceptions of human beings, like that. Karana kutuhalam. Atra panchanga nirmanartham avashyakaah vishayaah nirupitaah santi. Bhaskaracharya Karnataka deshiyah, proud for us. Sahya parvata samipastah gramah etasya Janmasthalam. So Karnataka Desha, you don't look at this is Maharashtra, that is Karnataka. Like I said, Kashmir was everything north of Punjab, like that. So Sakhya Parvata, Sakhyadri, it's all mixed in here, Western Ghats in that ranges. Okay, Gramaha etasya Janmasthalam. Pituhu nama Maheshwaraha iti. Pita eva etasya Vidya Guru asit. So he only was this first Guru. Yeshaha Kristashaka ekadashatame shatake shatakasya purvarde. So that means 10XX. 10XX is 11th century first half up to 1050. Shatakasya purvarde. Purva Paschima means first part, second part, like that we say. Asit iti vidusham abhiprayah. Okay, so it's about a millennia ago. Bhaskaracharyasya kritinam vyakhyanaani yavanti santi tavanti vyakhyanaani jyotishastrasya anyasya kasyapi granthasya nasti. So his work is a masterpiece. This which one? Siddhanta Shiromani, Lilavati, etc. In fact, Lilavati you will find lots of even English mathematicians of modern era have done a lot of analysis on that. Okay, I read, for example, about this story of this water clock, etc. in some works of some professor who is actually teaching Lilavati somewhere in Uttarakhand, some university somewhere like that. So in one lady teacher, mathematics teacher is teaching that at university level. Something nice. See, we have to go understand the level of knowledge and details that they had done, so that at least we get an appreciation of how much they had achieved. I am not saying we need to restart from there and start writing new Sanskrit shlokas to include modern mathematics, etc. No, that's not the thing. We should be proud of what they had achieved, and at least drive ourselves to understand the works, if not grow on top of that. That much we should do. Yeah, Bhaskaracharyasya kritinam vyakhyanani yavanti santi. Visa. There are lots of bhashyas and vyakhyana of his works. Okay, now let us see a couple of things. So let's see the left one first very quickly. A simple problem taken from the 12th century Indian mathematician Bhaskara's Lilavati arithmetic grantha. So panchashaha alikulat kadambam magamatriamsham. Okay, so something is there. Shilindram tayoho vishlesha striguno mrugakshi kutajam dolayamano paraha. I'm sorry, it's in very small font. I can also just barely read it. Anyway, we will focus on what it contains through the commentary. Kante, see, he Kante, he putri, like that. Kante ketakamalati parimala praptaika kala priyad utahuta itastato bhramati khe brungho ali sankhyam vada. So tell the count of the bees that are flying from what I have described. So I will not do Vyakaranamsha analysis of that. I am sure we can do it if we sit down carefully, etc. But it's here. It's an example of reduction of fractions to a common denominator. 1/5 of a swarm of bees flew towards a lotus flower. Okay, 1/3 towards a banana tree. A number equal to 3 times the difference between the two preceding figures. Oh my beauty with the eyes of a gazelle. Okay, Keta Kamalati, something like that. It's there. Eyes of a gazelle flew towards a kodaga tree whose bitter bark provides a substitute for quinine. Okay, knowledge there. Finally, one other bee, undecided, flew hither thither. Itastataha. few hither thither, equally attracted by the delicious perfume of the jasmine and the pandanus. I am not sure what this is. Tell me, O charming one, how many bees were there? So, somebody has done all the mathematical inference using modern LCM stuff and done the solution. 15 bees. Okay. So, I will not go into the explanation of that part. It will be interesting, but you see how they coded it with triguna, triamsha. So all they indicated like that. Amsha being the part, that is the ratios. Okay, 1/8, 1/10, like that. Triamsha being 1/5. Panchamsha being 1/5. So you can see x by 5, x by 3, all this thing. Okay, so that's one. And here let us see this one. Ekadasha shata sahasra ayuta laksha prayuta kotayah kramashah. So see, this is the series of names for decades. Ekadasha, eka, dasha, unit, 10, shata, 100, sahasra, 1000, ayuta, 10,000, laksha, 100,000, prayuta, million, I guess, kotayah, this is 10 million. So kramashah. Arbudam, abjam, kharva, nikharva, mahapadma, shanka, shankavah tasmat. So this is just pratyaya. So shanka is the last word in that list. Shankavah tasmat. So further numbers using arbudam, like that. Then Jaladihi cha antyam madhyam parardham iti dashagunottaram sangyaha. Up to parardha he has gone. So we can go from 10 power 0 up to what we have to see. Okay. So I'm sure it's quite a large number there, parardha. Okay. More or less why they called it parardha is because they thought that you don't need number larger than that for a whole yuga, like that. The whole existence of earth and things like that, maybe. Sankhyayah sthananam vyavaharartham kritaha purvehe, something like that. Purvehe means purvajaihi, something like that must be. Positions of digits from right to left are unit, 10, 100, 1000. We don't need all this, but let's see where is parardha. So billion stops at abjam here. Billion stops at abjam. Okay, so we are going into 10 billion, 100 billion, 100 billion, sorry, 1000 billion must be trillion. So Mahapadma is trillion, 10 trillion, 100 trillion, 1000 trillion. So there is no number in English for that, and maybe nowadays it is there. Antya and Madhya and Parardha. So it's going into hundreds and thousands of trillions also. Okay, thousands of trillions. The value of each digit on the left is 10 times that on the right. This decimal system, all that is extra. I didn't extract from the book, so you can see this. Okay, so this may be from Aryabhata's work also, because he was the one who gave such names, or maybe it's further again quoted by Bhaskara. Okay, so that's there. Alright, so that's very interesting. I'm so enamored by these mathematicians, I'm spending a long time on this, but let's do this exercise now. Go back to our normal portions. Etesham uttarani likatha. Yes, Dwarkanath Varya?
Sir, what type of questions will come in this sort of...
Sir, you don't worry about exam. You are even in the group I saw, I don't know why you are worried about question paper, etc. You have done Pravesha, Parichaya, Shiksha and come to Kovida. Why are you doubting yourself?
Not doubting, sir. I want to know...
We are still, how many weeks away from February end? Please relax, Dwarkanath Varya. Please relax. Let us learn. Huh?
Okay, sir.
So one question here. Kutuhalam means curiosity.
Curiosity. Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Yes.
Good. Kadana Kutuhalam is another kriti that I remember. So it's a raga. I think it's a Carnatic raga. It is like it is having tunes that resemble fighting. Kadana Kutuhalam. Anyway. So those who want to participate, please put your hand up and hand icon up. Okay, I have Shailaja. So she gets the first question. Kidrishaha manushyaha sakshat pashuhu. Shailaja varye.
साहित्य संगीत कला विहीनः मनुष्यः साक्षात् पशुः.
अद्भुतम. एक अंकं प्राप्तं भवत्या. सो साहित्य संगीत कला विहीनः साक्षात् पशुः पुच्छ विषाणहीनः तृणं न खादन्नपि जीवमानः तद्भागधेयं परमं पशूनां. साहित्य संगीत कला विहीनः मनुष्यः साक्षात् पशुः. वेल डन भगिनी, थैंक्स. मीता बाग्राय, या रीड भगिनी एंड टेल मी.
शिवः कया तुष्टः अभवत्? पार्वत्याः निष्कल्मषभक्त्या प्रीत्या शिवः सन्तुष्टः
अभवत्. वेल डन, वेल डन, वेल डन. शिवः पार्वत्याः निष्कल्मषभक्त्या, I mean प्रीत्या, I mean she showed affection and like that. तुष्टः अभवत्, सन्तुष्टः अभवत्. Well done. Next we have Narayanan N.
Yeah,
you can participate. Next question you can read and give me the answer, sir.
प्रसूनम इत्यस्य अर्थः कः? प्रसूनम इत्युक्ते कुसुमम.
कुसुमम. वेल डन. पुष्पम कुसुमम. अस्माभिः यत् पठितं तत्र प्रसूनम, लता प्रसूनम इत्यत्र लता पुष्पम इति. सम्यक्. प्रसूनम इति पदस्य अर्थः पुष्पं, प्रसवं, फलम् इत्यादपि भवितुम् अर्हति. प्रसवम् इत्युक्ते बेबी, फलम् इत्युक्ते फ्रूट इत्यादि अपि भवितुम् अर्हति, परन्तु सन्दर्भे पुष्पम् इति ज्ञातं तद् स्थापयामः अत्र. सो वाट् वास् देट्? दिस् वन्. मरुत्प्रयुक्ताश्च मरुत्सखामं तम् अर्च्यम् आराद् अभिवर्तमानम् अवाकिरन् बाललताः प्रसूनैः. हियर् विसा आचारलाजैरिव पौरकन्याः. See, so you see these questions. If we don't have a good, we don't need to recite it or anything, but we should know the words that appeared, context, and know the meaning and keep a little bit in our mind. So potentially such questions could come. Though generally such pointed questions about one small thing somewhere deep inside some lesson tend to be more on grammar aspect rather than memory aspect, but it is possible. Okay, so we should also be ready for this if possible. It's easier when we are doing it within one lesson because we are just attacked those verses, but it should be nice if we can kind of do it even at a full lesson level. But you will see these kind of questions tend to be not so. I mean, it will be more like probably explain this verse and things like that. Okay. Vaijayanti Neelakantan Varye.
महोदय, द्वयोः ज्योतिषशास्त्रज्ञयोः नाम लिखत. आर्यभटः वराहमिहिरश्च.
सम्यक्. इतोपि नाम? भास्कराचार्यः
ब्रह्मगुप्तः च.
ब्रह्मगुप्तः. इतोपि एक नाम एकः स्वीकृतम् अस्माभिः. वराहमिहिरः उक्तं किल? वराहमिहिरः उक्तं. प्रायः सर्वम् उक्तं भवति. आम्. भास्कराचार्यः, ब्रह्मगुप्तः. आमाम्, उक्तं, सर्वम् उक्तं. यद् अत्र अस्ति तत् सर्वम् उक्तम्. अद्भुतम्, अद्भुतम्. तो आर्यभटः, ब्रह्मगुप्तः, वराहमिहिरः, भास्कराचार्यः इति ज्योतिषशास्त्रज्ञाः. द्वौ शास्त्रज्ञौ इत्यत्र ब्रह्मगुप्तः इति स्थापितव्यं. द्विवचने अस्ति, यतः अत्र नामद्वयम् अस्ति. अद्भुतम्. इदानीं धन्यवादः वैजयन्ती वर्ये. वैजयन्ती इति वृद्धिः अस्ति, पश्यतु. विजय वैजय. So there is some vriddhi, adi vriddhi. So must be some taddita at play in your name. Interestingly. Okay. So Rajib Aditya Varya. Samasam krutva samastapadam samasa nama cha likata iti. Kapihi patatu apicha vadatu Varya.
Kapihi kunjaraha iva. Kapikunjaraha.
Kapikunjaraha. Kapikunjaraha samyak.
Upamana uttarapadam.
Upamana uttarapadam.
But I don't know the meaning.
Okay. No problem. Okay. So Kapikunjaraha upamanottarapada karmadarayaha. Okay. Kunjaraha, it's also not triggering in my head. I will look it up and come back. I should have put a note down.
It is elephant.
Elephant. Oh, Kunjara. Oh, there is a beautiful verse in Mahabharata somewhere when Kunjara is being told conch is blown by Krishna.
But the full
Bhagini, what is it again? Slowly, others calm down. What is it again, Bhagini?
Narova Kunjarova.
Narova Kunjarova is when the question is being asked, the conch blows on Kunjara.
One more Asma.
Sir, it was Ashwatthama Hato.
Ashwatthamo Nama Kunjara Hataha. Kunjara portion is blown up. And yeah, that question is more rhetorical afterwards. Yeah. Anyway, it's an interesting, that's a good trigger to remember Kunjara. So we now, Bhagini has helped us to point out that it means elephant. That's very helpful. So Kapi Kunjara.
Samasa means what, sir? The whole thing?
I am not able to conclude. See, Narasimha we can understand. I cannot understand Kapi Kunjara for my life.
Okay, sir.
For my life I can't. So maybe it is about Hanuman. Hanuman was a Kapikunjara, you can say, because he had the strength of an elephant. Some garbled sound is coming, Asha Variye. What do you want to say? I think her microphone, some signal is down or something. She's wanting to say something we are not able to make out, I think. Yeah, I think it could be a reference to Hanuman because he is a Kapikunjara, no doubt. So that way we can imply. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Thanks, Rajiv Varya. Well done. Vaijayanti still has her hand up, but I think she answered earlier. So if some new guys want to participate, please put your hand up. I need some hands up. Otherwise, I'll start calling people. Okay, Ganesh Nayak, my good student from long time. Bharat Rudra also stand by, sir. Ganesh Nayak Varya. Try the second one, sir.
Charamaha cha asau shlokaha cha. Charama shlokaha. Visheshana purva.
Correct. Visheshana purva pada karma dharayaha. Well done. Okay. So Charama shlokaha means epitaph. So this one is even today this paddhati continues. When some eminent elderly person passes away, everybody is more or less eminent and elderly when they pass away. So I am saying, sorry about that. Okay. So the 10th day or the 13th day, one of those days, now when we have the grand puja, one of the knowledgeable persons in the family or elderly person or somebody will write one nice shloka. It need not be in Samskritam, but it will be traditionally in Samskritam. It can be in any language, but it should be somewhat lyrical and kavya type. And in that, the gunagana of that person is done, okay, to remember that person in a good way. So that is called Charama Shloka. Okay. So you can understand this Charama is in the sense of the epitaph thing.
The final resting place, sir?
I think so. The Charama word I need to check what exactly it implies. But yeah.
Extreme, sir. Extreme.
Yeah. So epitaph. Okay. So Christians also have that paddhati. They put it down as a epitaph on the stone. But here in what we do, we don't anyway keep any remains as such like that, right? So what we largely do is actually create this verse and read it aloud on that day. Everybody listens to it. 2-3 times it is read and somebody will explain the meaning, and it's all very nice process. Okay. Now Bharat Rudravarya.
Yes, sir.
Next one.
Yes, sir. San cha asau vaidya cha sad vaidya visheshan.
The sun is from Sat, that one. Okay. Santaha from plural.
That's why it became sad.
Sadvaidyaha. Very good. The dakara has to come. Sadvaidyaha, like that.
It became the, sir. Sadvaidya. Sun changed to Sat and Sat.
Yeah, basically Sad, because sun is actually Pratama Ekavachana and the Pratipadika is Sat, and so Sat plus Vaidyaha we have to do in Samasa, and because Vakara is a Mrudu Vyanjana, Takara is Jastva, that means no Chartva reversal. So Sad plus Vaidyaha, Sadvaidyaha it will become. That is the whole Sandhi analysis. Okay. Yes. What kind of Samasa, sir?
Visheshan Purvapada.
Visheshana Purvapada Sama. Same thing. Okay. Because he is a good fellow and he is a doctor. It's a good combination to have. Okay. Sadvaidyaha Visheshana Purvapada Karmadarayaha. See, Sat, that's what I have shown here. Sun is Pratama Ekavachana. Sat, Sad is the original word, which means Santa. I mean, what we know in Loka as Santa. Santa Purusha. Okay. Any other? Saraswati Taigarajan is ready. Thanks, Bharatvarya. Saraswati, and then after that, Divya. Saraswati, you go first.
Raja Indraha Iva. Rajendraha. There is Gunasandhi also.
Very good.
Upamanottara Karmadharaya Samas.
Very good. Upamanottara Pada Karmadharaya. Don't stop at Upamanottara Karmadharaya. Put the Pada in between. Okay. Don't forget the Pada. No. Don't. I mean, just reminding you. Every letter there is important. That's why. So, Rajendraha, and like she said, she identified the Gunasandhi. Very good. And then she identified it as Upamanottarapada Karmadharaya. Very good. Okay. Usually from Vigraha Vakya to name the Samasa is easy. When just Rajendra is given, when we little bit struggle, should I go with Raja cha Asau Indra cha like that and call it as Visheshana Purvapada? Now how can, actually you can technically, there is nothing, you cannot cut that down saying that is incorrect. You can come with that sense. An Indra who is a king. If you are talking directly about Indra, that is correct. Rajendra, calling Indra as Rajendra is a Visheshana Purvapada. But here usually we use this Rajendra word for mere kings of the current world here in the Martya Loka. So the emphasis of Indra is a Upamana. Iva Upamana, I mean extremely high placement for a king. So king is the word that is being referred to. So though that's why when we define the characteristic of Tatpurusha as Uttarapada Pradanaha Tatpurushaha, we don't say only Uttarapada Pradanaha Tatpurushaha. We say Prayaha Uttarapada Pradanaha Tatpurusha. 99% of the times Uttarapada Pradhana. But you see here it is Purvapada Pradhana if you want to take. Raja is the one being talked about, not Indra. Indra's quality is being loaded onto the Raja. But this is still a Karmadharya, this is still a Tatpurusha variety only, though this is in the exception sense of Purvapada Pradhana instead of Uttarapada Pradhana. Okay. That you have to remember. So, whenever this Uttarapada, Upamanottarapada, something Uttarapada comes, we know that, and it is in the Tatpurusha subset or Karmadharya, which is part of Tatpurusha subset, we are looking at an exception to that rule of Uttarapada Pradhana Tatpurusha. That's why the Prayaha is there in the Lakshana Katana. Sanskrit grammarians use Prayaha conveniently to show that there are exceptions. So, Prayaha Dvisahasra Dhatavaha Santi. What do we mean? I mean, there is no single Patha for us to conclude 2024, 2032, like that. Okay? Yeah. Now we have Divya beginning.
Purushaha Rushabhaha Iva. Purusha Rushabhaha.
What Sandhi Bagini? Purusharshabha, what Sandhi?
It should be Anuswara Sandhi, sir.
Ha, very good. Purusharshabha. So there is a Anuswara Sandhi there, correct?
This would be Upamanottara Karmadharaya.
Very good.
Upamanottara Pada Karmadharaya.
Karmadharaya Samasa. Well done, actually. Because again, Rishabhatva, which is similar to Vyagratva or Simhatva, Nara Vyagraha, Narasimha. Purusharshabha is similar class. So remember all of them in one sense. Okay, well done. So Purusharshabha. Shasha comes right next to each other. It looks so strange. Okay. Upamanottara pada karmadharaya. Actually, did one R disappear? I will check the spelling of this and come back.
Mahodaya, atra guna sandhi asti.
See, Purushar Repa. Okay.
Vikarah, akarah, vikarah yogah guna sandhi.
But R has disappeared, so I need to carefully. Anyway, one thing you can do is Purusha Rishabha also can be done using the exception that we have there. What do we call that?
Visarga Lopa.
Allah, Visarga Lopa Allah though. There is one more sandhi, something happens. Okay, all right.
So
we will.
Refa Desha is happening because of the Rukar.
No, Repadesha is happening from the Visarga due to post condition, but I am just wondering where did Re disappear to? That's all. Repa has come and then Sha has come directly. So I have to check this a little bit. Okay, it's not a.
Visarga won't come when we join it because.
Purusha is in Pratama, correct. Purusha Akaranta. Purusha plus Rishabha. Okay, Prakriti Bhava you can do. Purusha Rishabha you do. Oh, Pratipadika, I forgot the whole thing. I am sorry. Okay, how can I forget the basic rule? Take the Pratipadika Purusha, remove the Visarga, there is no Visarga involved. Purusha and Rishabha, there are two possible forms. One is Purusharshabha, which is Guna Sandhi, very good, for the A and R. Another is absence of Guna Sandhi, we do what we call Prakriti Bhava, where we write Sha fully and then Rishabha next to it. Purusha Rishabha, that is also correct. Okay, that is the Prakriti Bhava sense of the Sandhi, which is basically negation of the Guna Sandhi. Prakriti Bhava is an exception to Guna Sandhi for one part and also for Yana Sandhi in two parts. Like if you see the occupation space of Prakriti Bhava, it is an exception to Guna Sandhi for the Akaranta Prathama Pada. For Ikaranta and Ukaranta, it is a exception to Yana Sandhi, where R appears in the first as the first letter of the second word. Okay. Upamanottara pada karmadharaya. So that was a lot of struggle. I apologize. Purusha plus Rishabha. Okay. All right. When we see the next exercise and we can conclude today. Yatodaharanam nirdishta lingeshu tarapratyayantam tamapratyayantam cha rupam ligata. Ayyo. This one is not at all challenging. So all of you guys can actually shout out the answer to me. See, example is given Saralatara, Saralatama. So Kathina Pullinge.
Kathina Taraha, Kathina Tamaha.
Ayo, Tarmaha no, Tamaha. Okay. Kathina Taraha, Kathina Tamaha. Somebody added both Tarap and Tamap and came with a new Pratyaya. I think they will be blessed to become new Panini. Okay. Klishta Napumsake. Klishta Tamam. You should add that extra makara. Klishta Taram, Klishta Tamam. Well done. Dhirga Strilinge. Dirgatara, Dirgatama. I didn't hear any errors. Well done. Hrasva Napumsake. Actually, I should not say Hrasva. Some Bhagini See, here this is not r. So hrasva is correct because repa is there and akara is implied there with no bar. Okay, so hra is the pronunciation, not hr. If it is vor here to indicate a this thing upakshara there, then it is hrasva, but it is hrasva. The form is hrasva. So hrasva napumsake, hrasvataram, hrasvatamam. Okay, you guys pronounced it right, except somebody was pronouncing it hr, so I was trying to become alert to it, that's all. Okay, hr you can pronounce when there is a r there, not a repa. Okay, mrudu pullinge. Mrudutamaha. Gambhira stri. So what are the meanings? Kathina, difficult. Klishta, difficult again. Okay, maybe Kathina is tough and Klishta is difficult type. Dirgha, long. Hrasva, short. Mrudu, soft. Gambhira means deep. Okay, one sense deep. Okay, there may be other meanings. All right, so I think with that we conclude our third lesson successfully. I was hoping we'll go a little faster to go to the fourth and was ready for it, but no, time is not in our favor. I will not want to start a new lesson with time already overgone. So we will meet next Saturday and plow into the fourth lesson. Okay, and eternally I hope that I will accelerate my teaching. See you guys. Thank you for joining. Good numbers.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
Namaste.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಮಹೋದಯ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
Recording